Good to know that you are there. This is the Anglican Cable Network Nigeria, ACNN Television. You are on to the news on the hour. I am Folusho Taiwo. You're welcome. Senate President Bukola Saraki has disbanded the parliamentary support group loyal to President Muhammadu Buhari. The group was disbanded after the Senate suspended Omo Agege, a Delta senator, for 90 legislative days. The Buhari support group, which was chaired by Abdullahi Adamu, senator representing Nasarawa West, had Omo Agege as member. The late Ali Wakili, senator representing Bauchi South, Binta Garba, senator representing Adamawa North, and Umaru Kofi, senator representing Katsina Central, amongst others, were part of the group. Speaking during the plenary, Saraki said he ought to be the leader of such group in the upper legislative chamber. He expressed his displeasure that some people act like they are holier than thou at the expense of others.
I think in this chamber, if we want to talk about who has the right to even say he is chairman of a parliamentary support group for Mr. President, both by action and by what we have done, I think I have the right to lead that than anybody else here. But those of us that understand the politics, that because of sometimes our own peculiar interest, we decide sometimes that we are holier than thou or more committed, but at the expense of others. That is not something we should tolerate. And I believe that in an institution like this, we must show that discipline. But at the same time, distinguished colleagues, I hope we will not have to come to this sort of situation again at this point in this democratic process. And we can all take cue of this and move forward. I thank you so much.
During the consideration of the amendment to the Electoral Act, Omo Agege kicked against reordering the 2019 election, saying Buhari might be the target of adjusting the electoral sequence. The URHOBO people of Delta State have dragged the Senate before a federal high court sitting in Abuja over the suspension of their kinsman, Senator Ovie Omo Agege, from the Red Chamber. It will be recalled that Omo Agege, representing Delta Central Senatorial District during plenary, was suspended for 90 legislative days. The Senate's Committee on Public Petitions, Ethics and Privileges, which investigated him over comment on the reordering of the electoral timetable, recommended his suspension. The report, which was submitted by the committee chairman, Senator Samuel Anyanwu, explained that the earning lawmaker declined to speak to the committee when he appeared. Dissatisfied by the action, the plaintiff's chief Alfred Okaka, others prayed the court to hold that the rights of the people of Delta Central Senatorial District to an unfettered representation in the legislative business of the Senate by Senator Omo Agege, constitutionally guaranteed for a tenure of 4 years, cannot be abridged, diminuted, suspended, abrogated, or vitiated except as stipulated by the 1999 Constitution as amended. The Cross River State Governor Ben Ayade has revealed why it is better for judges to be poor while upholding the law than to be rich and getting their names soiled. Speaking while swearing in 3 High Court judges at the State Executive Chamber, Calabar, the state capital, Ayade cautioned them against perverting justice. The judges who took their oaths of allegiance and office in the presence of the Deputy Governor, Professor Ivara Esu, Chief Judge of the State, Honorable Justice Michael Edem, members of the State Executive Council include Justices Emmanuel Agyampuye Ubwa, Obo Awusa Obo and Imelda Basi-Etape. Ayade charged them to take the appointments as great task and responsibility, noting that a lean liberty is better than fat slavery. The governor challenged the new judges to a new thinking and philosophy where law will be driven by a true African heritage. He stressed the need for the judges to see arbitration as the alternative to conflict resolution and the most welcome concept in modern legislative and legal practice, especially where a court is structured to deliver judgment instead of peace. There was an uproar in the Senate over President Muhammadu Buhari's claim that the herdsmen who have killed hundreds of Nigerians, particularly since the inception of his administration, were trained and armed by the late Libyan President Muammar Gaddafi. In his response to comments by the Archbishop of Canterbury, His Grace Justice Welby, on the killings in Nigeria, when the cleric visited him in London, the United Kingdom on Wednesday, Buhari said that the herdsmen were bandits trained by Gaddafi, former Libya president. Reacting to this, Senator Ejinaya Abaribe, Abia South, had called upon the commencement of the Senate session, draw the attention of his colleagues to the president's comment and submitted that such comments amounted to incompetence on his part.
Mr. President, yesterday in London, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Nigeria and the President of Nigeria said that these killings were as a result of the people who were trained by the late Muammar Gaddafi. And so, implying that these people who are doing these killings in Nigeria are invaders from outside of Nigeria. And if he says that they are invaders from outside of Nigeria, what it means is that it now validates my last point on this floor. When a commander-in-chief says that he cannot take care of invaders invading Nigeria, why is he still a commander-in-chief? Why do we still continue to indulge? Why do we still continue to indulge this president that everywhere goes along to tell everybody outside this country that he is totally incompetent? Because
his comments elicited serious opposition from the Senate Majority Leader Ahmed Lawan, along with a few others, all Progressives Congress APC senators.
Order 53-7 reads, "It shall be out of order to use offensive and insulting language." Mr. President, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is the leader of this country and deserves the respect and courtesy of this chamber and those of us in it. Mr. President, I was once there as an opposition senator. There was never a time that we called the president at that time, who was a PDP president, an insult, because this is our institution. And if we don't conduct ourselves with dignity and respect, nobody will respect us. So I want to urge my colleague there to immediately withdraw his statement and apologize. Hold on, and apologize to this chamber.
Amid the uproar that ensued, Senate President Bukola Saraki attempted to restore order by asking Abaribe to make his point without using offensive words. Abaribe declared that there was no other word which to convey his message regarding the meaning of what President Buhari had done. The debate was brought to an abrupt end because of the growing tension in the chamber. Nigerians on social media have blasted President Muhammadu Buhari for blaming activities of herdsmen Nigeria on the late Libyan dictator Muammar Gaddafi. It will be recalled that while speaking with the Archbishop of Canterbury, His Grace Justice Welba, in London on Wednesday, Buhari had said the killer herdsmen were trained and armed by Gaddafi. Some Nigerians on Twitter have, however, taken on the president, saying his reason was not witty. They wondered why the government would blame a dead man for the herdsmen killings. We shall now go on a short commercial break. Before we bring you the rest of the news, please stay with us.
Living to please God is simply living according to the word of God.
Pleasing God entails you staying with your wife in understanding according to the scripture, not in beating her.
You are welcome back. For more on our top stories, please visit our website at ACNNTV.com or youtube.com/ACNNTV. To be up to date with our news and other programs, download the ACNN app for Android from Google Play Store. And now to some foreign news. The President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, received Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, and the Secretary General of the Anglican Communion, Dr. Josiah Idowu Ferron, at Abuja House in London, Nigeria's High Commission. It will be recalled that last month, Archbishop Justin Welby offered to do what he could to contribute towards any peace negotiations in Nigeria as violence rises in parts of the country, adding that last year, Dr. Idowu Ferron was chosen to lead a peace commission in Nigeria's northern Kaduna state. While speaking after the meeting, Archbishop Justin said it was an honor to meet President Buhari as they discussed the complex security situation in Nigeria and their government's efforts to address it. And he went further to offer his support in seeking a sustainable solution to the harder farmer conflict. The Archbishop said he raised the urgent situation of Leah Sharibu, the 14-year-old Dachi Christian schoolgirl still a captive by Boko Haram, for refusing to convert to Islam, and urged the president to do everything possible to secure her release, and went on to urge Christians to join in praying for those suffering from the other farmer conflict, Boko Haram insurgency, and all those mourning the loss of loved ones. The United Nations Children Fund UNICEF has revealed that no fewer than 1,000 children, including 276 Chibok girls, have been abducted by Boko Haram in Northeast since 2013. In a statement issued to newsmen in Abuja, the UNICEF country representative, Mohamed Malik Fall, described the procuring attacks against children as unconscionable. He further called for the release of those still held in captivity by insurgents, saying UNICEF is appealing for an end to attacks on schools and all grave violations of children's rights. He stated that these repeated attacks against children in schools are unconscionable, adding that children have the right to education and protection, and the classroom must be a place where they are safe from harm. He further called on Nigerian authorities to make a comment to making schools safer and more resilient to attack, adding that UNICEF will stand with them to implement the Safe Schools Declaration, by which Nigeria commits to protecting schools and universities from violence and military use during armed conflicts. The primate of the Anglican Church of Kenya, Archbishop Jackson Ole Sapit, has rejected a call for men in Kenya to indulge in polygamy. He said the church will resist moves to promote polygamy in the country. The subject flooded the headlines in Kenya after a women representative, Gathoni Wamuchumba, called for men to marry several women to ensure children in the single-parent families had a father figure, saying that it was a common practice in the olden days and she found no wrong in it.
We're honest to ourselves. When we had our polygamous fathers and our forefathers, what wrong did they do? What crime did they commit? And why did we term it as a crime now? If there was no crime they committed, and we were born out of those families, and we excelled, why not go there if that is where we are going to get the solution? We are so pretentious today, and our pretentious lifestyle is what is costing us these problems we have today. So if polygamous is what is going to sort us out, let's go there. We interact with the members of parliament in parliament who openly talk about their 4 wives, their 5 wives, and they are okay. If they never owned to those families, maybe they will be street families. We give birth to these children and we don't want to own up to them.
But speaking to reporters outside St. Crispin's Church in Bungoma town, Archbishop Jackson rejected the call, saying that the church would not permit marriages involving multiple partners. According to him, the church is very clear through the teachings of the Bible, especially the New Testament, that one man and one woman make a family. He made it clear that from this perspective, the church only sees a family to be one wife and one husband joined together to form a couple and form a family.
Wife and one husband joined together to form a couple and found a family. Even in our constitution, it is said marriage is between 2 consenting adults who must be a male and a female. I also want to put that very clearly, that the church advocates for marriage between females and males, but not vice versa. We don't encourage any discussion about homosexuality or lesbianism, because that is not the way the Bible teaches.
The Electoral Board for the Church of the Province of Melanesia has elected the Reverend James Tama as the 6th Bishop of the Diocese of Vanuatu and New Caledonia, in succession to the late James Ligo, who passed away unexpectedly last year in December. During a meeting held at the Vanuatu Christian Center, Port Vila, Vanuatu, the board elected Reverend James Tama, who presently serves as the province's Assistant Mission Secretary. Is a native of Vanuatu, educated at the Pacific Theological College in Fiji, and since ordination in the Diocese of Vanuatu and New Caledonia, has served as Deputy Principal of the Bishop Patsin Theological College and as Principal of the Fisher Young School and Theology and Ministry based in the Diocese of Banks and Torres. His consecration is set for 12th of August 2018. The Supreme Court of Pakistan has disqualified former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif from holding office for lifetime under the Section 62 of the Constitution of Pakistan for his asset issue. The ex-prime minister will not be able to contest election for the rest of his life, according to the ruling announced by the court. It was reported that in October 2017, Mr. Sharif was indicted over allegations of corruption, the latest setback for the deposed leader, who remains one of the most popular politicians in Pakistan. Mr. Sharif, 67, was ousted from power in July 2017 by the country's Supreme Court after months of hearings on the corruption charges. He and his family stand accused of using offshore holding companies to buy luxury properties in London. Charges stemming from Panama Papers leaks in 2016. Mr. Sharif, who was not in court, sent a plea of not guilty. His daughter Miriam and her husband Mohammed Sabda were also named in the indictment by the anti-corruption court. Mr. Sharif's supporters claim he is the target of high-level conspiracies that include the country's powerful military. And so that's it on this edition of the News on the Hour. It came from the Anglican Cable Network Nigeria, ACNN Television. We want to thank you, and thank you profusely for watching. I am Fulusho Taiwo, asking you to please mend it. Don't end it in a hurry. God bless you.